go to the opening slide. I'm going to full screen view. So, good morning and welcome. My name's Pete Gable from RPC. Some of you I know and have met before, and others are new to me, but thank you for attending, and hopefully we'll get to know each other a bit later on. So this is the first in a series of webinars we're running over the next 3 or 4 weeks, getting the most out of digital training for Oracle Primavera. And included in that is also going to be a session that includes Unifier as well. So first of all, I'd like to introduce your hosts, as I mentioned. That's me, Pete Gable. I've been with RPC and formerly Richard Palmer Consultancy since, well, since I had brown hair, not grey hair, a lot of years. And Glenn, I think me and you are probably the longest go back on here. So we know each other.
2002.
2002. So yeah, that's a long time ago. I'd also like to just introduce Rachel. Rachel.
Hello.
Yeah, a little bit about yourself. Feel wonderful.
So, thank you. I'm fairly new to Oracle, but I'm certainly not new to the IT industry. I've been working around IT for around 30 years-ish. I've been everything from a support consultant all the way through to adoption services. My passion is within education and technical education. I am a qualified technical instructor, and I used to instruct for another software company, not for Oracle, but it is my passion. So I will get quite excited when I talk about technical education.
Fantastic, thank you. So this is the agenda that we've got lined up for you. Rachel's just going to go through a few slides on the value of digital learning, the benefits, and a quick overview of the delivery platforms, which is we're going to be talking about training on demand and learning subscription. Then Rachel's going to hand over to me, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of what a P6 learning subscription looks like, and then there'll be a time for questions and answers at the end. So if you do have any questions, there is a chat feature, and if you want to put your questions into the chat feature, we'll take those questions at the end. So this one is about an overview of everything that we can offer in terms of digital learning, and then next week's the webinar will be more a deep dive into P6, professional and web. And then the one after that will be a deep dive into Unifier. So that's what we've got coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over, I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to hand over to Rachel.
Okay. Let's see. And it's all going to work. Come on. Right. So hopefully you can see the same slide that Peter left us on. And I'm going to talk about the benefits of digital learning. I don't know if there's somebody who's got a very loud background in there. Is there anybody not on mute at the moment? Because I'm just getting a very, that's it, it's gone. Thank you very much, whoever you were.
Rachel, if you just go to your display settings in PowerPoint there, because we can see the next slide as well. We can't see this quite full slide. So if you go to display settings at the top there.
I haven't got a display settings, Pete. There we go. I got it.
And just duplicate slideshow. It's perfect.
Okay. That means I can't see it either, my next one. Never mind. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So for me, I put together this slide and it was really useful exercise to talk about the benefits of digital learning. I mean, right now, obviously, there are obvious benefits, but even outside of the current situation, we have the ability to tailor your learning experience. Well, actually you do, and I prefer to call it personalized rather than tailored. It allows you to pick and choose the elements that are most appropriate for you. So you don't have to sit through an entire 3, 4, 5-day course when that may not be suitable for you, and you actually only need a couple of chapters from day 1, a couple of chapters from day 2, and a summary at the end, plus a bit of time for hands-on exercise. So that's one way you can tailor it. The other way that you can tailor it is that you learn at your own pace. Everybody learns slightly differently. So as an instructor, we were always taught to deliver training at the pace of the person who wanted to go at the slowest pace, which is fine for that person, but anybody who wants to go at a bit faster pace is going to get easily bored. This way you choose your pace, nobody else is impacted. And for most of our offerings, you have an extended period, so you're not restricted to that classroom time that you would normally have in a face-to-face environment. So the training on demands that we're going to look at, you will have those for 90 days. The learning subscriptions, which Peter's going to go through, that's around for a year. So you've got a far extended period of time for practice, for revision, getting your hands dirty, and just generally experimenting. And when we go through the demonstration, you'll actually see you've also got time to interact or contact our instructor, which probably in this situation will be Peter, because there is a messaging mechanism built into our digital learning platform. For most of the options that we're going to talk about, you actually also have the option to track your progress. So you'll be able to see how far you've got. If it's purchased as an organizational level, your organization can potentially track that as well, should they wish to. The learning subscriptions, I will just quickly touch on. You will also have the option, the stay current button that I have on this screen is really, we promote new content to our subscriptions regularly, and that's all inclusive in that license. So if we produce something new for a particular topic that for a subscription that you have, it will automatically get pushed out to you. You don't have to resubscribe or repurchase in any way. So that's that one. The next slide, which isn't, there it is. So we have 3 real main digital delivery platforms, and they all start with the training on demand, which is an individual course which has been recorded by an Oracle expert instructor. And you will see in the ones that we're about to look at that actually that's Peter. So you'll get to look at him all over again. You don't lose any content by doing a digital delivery. You get exactly the same content. You get the activity guide, you get the student guide, so the manuals that are associated with it. You don't lose anything. In fact, you do gain by having the hands-on lab experience. You would actually have access to that 24/7 via digital platform, whereas in a classroom, obviously, you'd only have that during the time that you're actually in the class. So let's have a look and see what that looks like. Now, I don't know if my screen has picked up that I've gone into Google. So I'm hoping somebody will tell me that you can or cannot see that loading.
Yep, I can see that.
Super, thank you. So we have a whole range of training on demand, but for today we are just going to look at Primavera. And we are going to look at it under the industries option, and it's going to be under construction and engineering. And here we'll see all of the options that we have. If I open one up, I can just go into preview and you'll be able to see exactly what that looks like. And it's going. Yeah, there it is. So this is your interface. I'll do a quick walk around so you can see what we've got. We've got your progress report option here. If you were certificated, you have an option to feedback to us here. And you can see that I've actually started this course and I'm about 3% of the way through. So I think I've actually done chapter 1. On the left-hand side are all of your chapters. Now, you don't have to take them in the order that they're listed. If you want to jump around and start halfway down, that's absolutely your prerogative. Underneath all of your chapters, you have any access to labs, student guides, or contacting your instructor. So labs, we ask you to schedule in advance by clicking on the button, and it will come up and offer you some dates. If you want to book for the following week, you would need to do that before the end of the Wednesday the week before. In a training on demand, you get one access to a lab. So it's important that you think about when you're going to schedule that practice time according to how you're working your way through the course. Because this is 90 days worth of learning you've got to take at your pace, but one access to that lab, which is for a 6-day period. It starts on a Monday morning and ends on a Saturday evening. Once that's been set up, you'll receive an email to the email address that you've been registered with. That will then tell you your lab is ready, and you would access your lab through the same area that we've just looked at. Your student guides are PDFs, so you can click into those and just look at those in the same way as you normally would. With a training on demand, you would normally be able to download those. And also, as we're working our way through the course, you'll see there's a button here for Ask the Instructor. It knows who you are, it knows what course you're doing, and you just fill in your questions, whether that's one at a time, whether you compile them daily, or you bundle them all up at the end, and they will be sent off to a pool of instructors who cover this particular topic. They have a turnaround time, I think it's 48 hours. Most of them answer far more quickly than that, but 48 hours is the expected turnaround. That sends off, and that, as I say, it will come back to you in an email response. So if we click on play, your video will appear in the middle here. So you'll see the slides, you'll see when the instructor is being shown, you'll see the instructor as well. You've got your progress bar along here, which you can just click through at any point and say, I want to go back to this point. Most of our courses come with subtitles, which you can turn off, of course. And then just quickly before we go into any more, we've got 2 tabs underneath the video, your overview and your transcript. So the transcript is actually a full word-for-word transcript of everything the instructor is saying, and I find much easier to follow along than you would within your learning you would within your subtitles. I can also search my video. So if I wanted to look for a particular topic for revision purposes, I can search for a word and ask it to go and find me a particular word, and I've picked the wrong word for this course, so I can choose any word. Let's have a look. Let's choose OPPM, and it can go off. It will highlight the word. You can either click on the word or you can click on the blue bars, which aren't actually shown there, but I can click on the word and it will take me to that exact place. And there's the lovely Peter. It will take me exactly to that point in the video. So if you know there's a topic or a phrase or a particular area you want to review or cover again or demonstrate to somebody, then you can actually use the search facility. The search facility is actually throughout the entire training on demand, and you can search the entire course for that. So if I wanted to find a particular word, particular relevant topic, then it will just highlight the chapters where that appears, and you can just jump your way through them. And just to prove that I don't have to start on chapter 1, I can just jump down here into Enterprise Data Lesson Review, and off we go. And Peter's about to start telling us all about that. There we are. So that's a very quick summary of a training on demand, but you can see that you're not losing anything at all. In fact, as I say, I believe personally, you gain quite a lot. From that element, you've got the individual course. Now, the other option we talked about is a product learning subscription. And that's what Peter's going to talk to us about. The only other option that we have is something called an unlimited product learning subscription, which is where we bundle every piece of digital training that Oracle provides into a single bundle, and you can have everything that we do digitally in one lump. So Peter, I think you're going to talk specifically about our Primavera learning subscriptions. So I will stop sharing now.
Okay. Okay, thank you for that, Rachel. So I shall now share my desktop. Hopefully you can all see this, and I'll just get rid of the agenda there. So first of all, I'm in Google, and I'm wondering, how do I find a P6 professional learning subscription? Well, I just simply type it in here, and you'll see I get a link to education.oracle.com, and I can dive straight in to Primavera P6 Professional. Obviously, if I was looking for Unifier or P6E PPM, then change the search. Once you're in the found the search, you'll be taken to this screen here, and this I've actually logged into this screen, and you'll see that this is the home page for the P6 Professional Learning Subscription. So it's covering, it tells you briefly what's included in this and what topics it includes, what the job roles that are covered, what skills you will learn, and the learning paths that are available in this. So if I want to see a little bit more about this, well, first of all, you can see the price. So this is the price per user for 1 year of access. So once you've purchased this P6 Professional, everything that I'm going to show you from this point onwards is included in this price for 1 year. So it tells you here, it gives you access to the content 24/7 for 1 year. Oracle expert instruction, so that's me in most cases. Hands-on lab exercises, and an instructor Q&A. It's very much built on the same technology engine that the training on demand was. So if you did want to purchase this, you just click add to cart and off you go. So let's just click preview and see what a P6 professional learning subscription looks like. And it's slightly different to how the TOD is presented, because remember, the TOD is just one course. The learning subscription is all these courses. So first of all, you can filter by role. So if I said only show me topics that might be of interest to a program manager, you'll see there the learning paths was 6 before, it's now gone down to 5, and I'm only interested in the initiation of a project, and I want to see the learning paths. Then you can filter on your particular role. So we have different roles in here, and we have different process groups. So initiation, planning, closing, control, the typical project management lifecycle, and whether you want to look for a learning path or a course. So if I just scroll down, you can see in the brown boxes here, these are the learning paths. So this is if you were choosing planning and scheduling, if you're just interested in resource and cost, or project office information, or how to administer P6. There's a section on analytics, and we also will be regularly adding additional extras in here. So for those of you who know me, these are what we call PG's tips, or PG tips. So every now and then we'll record some new content, or we might put out this is what's new in P6, a PDF, or a bit of a case study, or just some general additional extras that will keep this whole thing current. So there's a list of the learning paths. If I just go into the planning and scheduling and click view outline, yeah, so these are the topics that you would follow in this learning path. So the fundamentals, project execution, advanced topics. It's 3 items and 10 hours worth of recording. And if I was to click on resource and cost management, then this would be the fundamentals and the advanced costs, the advanced topics for resources. And again, this is 4 hours 54. So the length of the length that is showing here, the time, this is just how long it takes for, or how long it took me to actually record the content on video. Obviously, when you do the course for yourself, then the time to do the course would be the time to listen to the video, and then you would need to add in the time for you to do the practice, the labs, and then answer the skill checks at the end. So it is, if the 3-day course was 3 days, then it would take, and you pick the topics to run a 3-day, the standard P6 fundamentals course, then that would last for 3 days. So in fact, let's just jump down a bit. So now the second part of this screen is the different courses, and these are in the green title blocks. So obviously our most popular course is this planning and scheduling fundamentals course. So if I just click on this, this will take me into this course. You can see that I've started this course, and I'm up to 8%, and you can keep a track on your skill checks by module and by course content. So if you've been on this course, you'll probably be very familiar with these topics. And as Rachel said, we don't have to start at the beginning. We can jump back into here. How do we create a project? So here's the practice. That's the video for how we create a project. That's the video of how we create a project. And then it's over to you to update and do your lab. And then at the end of that, there is a skill check where you have to score a certain amount, and 80% is the pass rate. And we'll go into a skill check in a second or two. And then also, as in the training on demand, we have resources, so we can schedule a lab. And remember, with a training on demand, you can have this for up to a year. You can download your student guide directly from here. So this is the PDF that you would get if you came on the came on the course. And again, you've got the Ask the Instructor option here to fire in some questions. Now, the questions don't always come to me. As Rachel said, they go to a qualified pool of instructors. And there are other people in this world who know about Primavera other than me. So if they can find the answer, then they will respond to that request. Otherwise, they do filter the way back through to me. Again, when we hit the play button, you're going to see this. This is in progress. Let me just mute that. Okay, so here I am doing a demo, a live demo of how to do whatever it is. And like I say, you can skip forward, yeah, you can skip backwards, you can replay, you can see the transcript as I'm talking. Somebody had the job of translating my nice Yorkshire twang, and they put the transcript in here. And as Rachel said as well, we can search the video for a particular word, and you can see this is where this, as it's going through the transcript, you can see what I'm actually saying right now. Okay, so the transcript is really useful, and I believe you can get that in a couple of languages as well. So that's the training. That's that particular course. Okay, so when we want to go to a case study, yeah, what I will do normally is I will introduce the case study, as this is what we're going to do. In this case, it's how to create a project. And then I would give some clues to the delegates what we need to do. Just mute that. Okay. And so I will talk you through what the case study is all about. And then it's over to you then to do the lab. and then the lab is to actually create to create a new project. So that's how that bit works. And then the thing I was just going to quickly show you was the skill check at the end. Yeah, at the end of every module in P6, this is the skill check. So if I just go in here and view the skill check, if you've done this course in the past, or you're looking to do a refresher on this course, these are the exact same questions that we use in class. And it's at the end of the lesson. It will give you a summary of what we've talked about, and then it will ask the questions. You can choose from multiple choice or choose the best answer that matches. Here we go. Generally, it's fairly quick, but sometimes the first time you load things up like this, just needs to cache the video in. So there we go. So this is a skill check for calendars. Yeah. So if I go on to next. Yeah, oh, it's still caching away here. So there we go. So these were the key points, and then we go next. There's 5 questions in this. So which calendar would you use to work on resource dependent? Well, I would guess it's going to be resource. And then you submit all your answers to the questions, and at the end of the skill check, it will give you a pass or a fail. And then that obviously then is calculated in your progress, and you can go back. So the beauty of this training on demand and the learning subscription is that you can jump in at any point. You can choose to run the course at any time that you wish to run the course. You can ask the instructor questions. You can run the labs at your convenience. You don't need to download or have a Primavera license. Everything is provided for you to be able to do the labs. Okay, so I think I've talked through everything there. Have I missed anything, Rachel, on the learning subscription?
The only thing I would add in a learning subscription is you have the ability to create what I would call like a learning path in your favorites. So you can click on the hearts anywhere in your course or in your learning subscription, and that will remember your favorites. So rather than having to find each course each time, you can click on the heart, it adds it to your favorites and effectively bookmarks it. So you can simply just go and look at that list in future. Some of the learning subscriptions are quite large, and it just makes navigation a little bit easier.
Actually, yeah, good point. So I've just favorited this topic. It's now showing me favorites in here, so I guess that's going to take me straight to my favorites. Yeah, okay, that's great. Thank you, Rachel.
That's fine.
Okay.
Just with the learning paths, sorry, one more thing. The learning paths that we put in there, again, they are recommendations. We don't insist that you do them. That's just a recommended path for a given role or a given topic. So if you were to click on one of those, and it would show all of the training that you could take relevant to that role or relevant to that topic, but it's not mandatory to take them in any order, or even in fact to take them all. It's simply a recommendation, and you could then just favorite that entire learning path if you wanted to.
Fantastic, thank you. I did mention that we would be also throwing in some additional extras. I know that our colleague at Oracle University is adding them in as we speak. So if I look in here for additional content, yeah, so I've got managing remote projects, what's new and the cumulative feature overview, how to create an SQLite database. And I've pretty much been recording about one a month or so. So every month you would expect to see new content in your learning subscription. So the idea being that we can keep you updated throughout the year with anything that's new or relevant that we think would be of interest to you. Of course, you can also request some other PG tips as well if you wish. Okay, so I think in terms of the agenda for today, we've covered what we hope to get through. And we did have a couple of questions, and I've just added those onto here. And we'll try and give some answers to these, and then we'll open up the phone lines. And if there are any questions, feel free to post them in. Or if Russ, if you've seen any in the chat messages, you can help me read those out as well, please. So in the first question, when we get asked is, the training sessions are focused on the engineering construction industry sector. So what you'll notice is the P6 professional courses are built around a typical construction job. So it's how to build a new office block. So in terms of how the learning subscription works, well, it is focused on the engineering construction industry sector. However, the training on demand and learning subscription also tells you how to use Primavera. It's then after that, how do you then apply that to your particular industry? Maybe you're in IT or utilities, oil and gas. And a bit further down the line, in terms of these workshops, we've been, and if you follow us on LinkedIn or Twitter, you'll see we've been developing some workshops that get away from this question we're always asked is, this is great training, tells me how to use Primavera, but it's not relevant for my industry. So we've started to put together some workshops now that would be relevant to your industry. So not only are they industry focused, they're also role focused as well. So watch out for some webinars on that, and also watch out for the training that we're offering on that. The second question we get asked quite a lot is the minimum IT requirements to attend the online training sessions. Well, it's pretty much the same as what you've used to get into Teams today. If you've got a Windows 10 PC, in fact, even Windows 7, you can get away with it. With a decent broadband connection, that's all you need. You don't need a microphone or a webcam or anything like that. You just need a decent IT internet connection. You need an Oracle account. If you haven't got one, you just register on oracle.com. You'll get a free account. It's fairly straightforward to access, and then you can dive straight in. And if you want to order a learning subscription, you saw on the home screen for that there was a button, add it to the cart, or if you come directly to me at RPC, then we can also take your booking through there. Typically, and we've actually sold a learning subscription this week. A chap was stranded out in Kazakhstan, so he needed to do some training. So he's bought a learning subscription. He ordered it on Monday. He paid for it on Tuesday, and he got his link this morning. So he's now online and doing his training. So it's a fairly quick and easy process. Obviously choose the learning subscription or training on demand, the course that you want. Come through to us, we can do the booking on your behalf, and then within 48 hours you'll be online, up and running. So they were the questions we had. Is there any other questions? I'll open the
we've got one. Got one online. So Rob has asked us whether we could clarify what a lab is. Is it whether it's a one-to-one with the trainer, or is it where we undertake exercises during the training? So a lab is basically a sandpit environment which we create, which is specific for the course that you are taking. It is individual to you, and it's recreated every time you take the training. So you get it for a week at a time, as I say, so it's 6 days. The trainer doesn't see it, or the instructor doesn't see it at all. It's simply between you and a sandpit environment for you to practice what's been covered during the session. Rob, does that answer your question?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you. Thanks for that.
No problem. The only difference is in a training on demand, which you have for 90 days, you only get one access to that lab. And in a learning subscription, you have as many attempts at that lab as you like. The only restriction is if you're taking multiple courses, you can only have one lab for each course You can't run concurrent labs, basically. They have to be one lab this week, another lab the next week.
Okay, thanks, Rachel. I guess on that point as well, the learning subscription that I was showing you included, for P6 Professional, included the fundamentals and the advanced and the administration courses. So you got 3 courses plus analytics all in one learning subscription, whereas the training on demand is one course.
It's one course. That's right.
Yeah. So
you would also sorry, Peter, go on.
Okay, no, you carry on, Rachel.
No, I was just going to say, in a learning subscription, we, if there is a relevant certification for whichever topic, that would be included in your certification as well. So you would get 1 free attempt at any relevant certification. You must register. If you're going to take the certification, you must take it from within the subscription. Don't go and try and register with Pearson VUE individually. If you do it via the learning path where the certification is indicated, then that would give you a free attempt at that certification. It will register you for free.
Okay, thank you. So the learning subscription does not include the certification, is that am I correct?
It does. Sorry, no, it includes 1 free attempt at any
right.
relevant certification.
Right, okay. That's great, thank you. Are there any more questions from the floor there?
Just a couple of quick ones. The prices are really good, by the way. I think I paid more 16 years ago. But do they include VAT?
Outside, Glenn.
It's not a Bentley, it's something else.
I don't know Bentley.
Does it include VAT?
It's plus VAT.
Plus VAT, right. And the other question was, at the end, do you get a hard copy certificate?
You get a completion. I'm not sure whether it's a hard copy one. I think it's digital. I will take that away and confirm. I think it's basically a digital one which we allow you to print. So it's like a PDF that will get sent to you, or you can download.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. My last question: Will you be redoing this particular webinar, because there's a few people I'd like to tell about it and get them to join in if you're doing another one?
Yes, we're doing another one on the 6th of May, I believe. Right. We're going to do, it's going to be slightly different in that the first part of the webinar will be what we've just talked about, the different delivery platforms, but we'll actually be doing a deeper dive into the Primavera courses. So if you know what you actually get with the Primavera courses. And then the other one on the 22nd of May, I believe, is the same introduction, so like a generic overview of the delivery platforms, but then we'll be diving into Unifier, what Unifier courses are available. So yeah, for Glenn, I guess for the Primavera guys that you're thinking about, then yeah, the next one will be more than appropriate for them. Right.
Will that be advertised via LinkedIn?
Or Russ, we can send you a link, or you can click on the link in LinkedIn, and and obviously it'll be the same invite, but just a different link to click for that particular day.
Yeah. All right. That's great. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Glenn. Any other questions out there? Okay,
I've stunned them into silence.
There you go. So, my final words then are thank you for listening. I do hope you found it informative. Thank you, Rachel, for your input too.
You're very welcome.
You will get a link to watch a recording of this webinar, and we will also be putting this on our YouTube channel, so you can replay this at your leisure. By all means, follow us on social media. We're quite active on Twitter and LinkedIn, and yeah, almost daily posts on LinkedIn. We don't tend to send a lot of emails out in terms of our circulation list. So if you did subscribe to our email list, then trust me, you won't be getting 15 emails a day. It's probably one a week, or even one or two a month. So we don't fill your inbox. We only like to tell you things that we think are relevant. So please follow us on social media. If you need to contact us at any time, the phone number's on here, or just visit rpc.uk.com, or click enquiries, email enquiries@rpc.uk.com, and then we'll be back in touch with you. So yeah, once again, thanks for attending. Thank you, Rachel, and I will stop the recording, and hope you found that interesting. Thank you very much.
Brilliant.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.